Absolutely finish bang on time, which will be 5:30 today. So in order for us to do that, we're going to get this session started as soon as possible. So can I please ask for quietness in the room? And now I'm going to introduce the person who's going to moderate the next session, which is on high-level capitalization with the PANORAMED project. It's going to be moderated by Antonio Del Pino, Vice Head of Unit of European Territorial Cooperation, General Direction of Community Funds with the Ministry of Finances and Public Administration in Spain.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Ms. Coleman, to introduce me. Well, we have talked about PANORAMED a lot during these 2 days, yesterday and today. And well, as the lead partner of this very ambitious and innovative project within the Mediterranean, for me, it's a pleasure to be here and to give you some hints on what PANORAMED is about. I think it's important to be clear on that, to know what we have done until now, and what is our main objectives in the future. So before calling my colleagues on the stage, I would like to make a very short presentation on the PANORAMED platform in order for you to know these basic concepts. It will be a very short presentation on the basic ideas. So as you know, all in all, this is like a house. By the things that you have listened so far, we have on the basement, we have the modular projects. Then we have the walls, the windows, and the doors, which are the horizontal projects. And then on top of that, I mean, the roof of the house is the PANORAMED project. But with one particularity, this roof does not cover only these horizontal projects and modular projects, but also all other initiatives, programs, strategies, which have an impact in the Mediterranean, so that our perspective is to be holistic on the work we are doing in order to make synergies and to avoid overlapping always within the Mediterranean. So even if our basis and our starting point is the Interreg Med, our view goes farther from then on. So basically, regarding the players of the PANORAMED project, PANORAMED in the end is a project which works more or less like the same, like other projects within the Interreg Med, but with very specific particularities which we are going to show you now. So here you have the skeleton of the projects. We have mainly the partners of the project. The partners of the project are 19 partners. These partners are the 12 countries from the northern arc of the Mediterranean, from Portugal to Cyprus. These are the country coordinators. This is a word you have listened to this morning and also yesterday. We have also 7 institutions and regions which belong to these countries. So all in all, we have 19 partners in this project. This is one of the particularities, because as you know, in the Interreg world, it's very unusual to find projects with so many partners around the table. That's why we always say this is a very challenging and a very ambitious project, and very particular indeed. So 19 partners. And then we have the associates. The associates, you have in the center the column of the associates of our project. Within them, you can see different institutions and entities. We have initiatives such as BlueMed. We have institutions such as the Union for the Mediterranean. Also, the United Nations Program for the Mediterranean is there. And also we have a group of cooperation programs, Interreg Europe, Interact, Interreg Adriatic Ionian, and so on. So it's a very heterogeneous group of institutions and strategies. And what are they going to do? Well, they are going to give us their expertise in order for us to widen our view, to include their expertise in our projects and in our work in order to find these synergies we want to make. And then we have also the 3 DGs which are accompanying the process. There are DG Regio, DG Mare, and DG NEAR, which have a framework role in the whole idea. Strictly speaking, they are not associates, but they represent the European Commission, and they accompany us in this very ambitious project. And finally, we have the experts and the private sector, civil society, academia. Why? Because in the end, this is a top-down project. And on the basement of the pyramid, we have the experts' work. We have their knowledge. We have their knowledge of the content of our work. So in the end, these are the stakeholders. And it's also a very wide and heterogeneous group. So that was regarding the players of the project. Then the structure. The structure, as you see here in the center of this solar system, we have the core of our work, which are the themes identified as strategic: maritime surveillance and coastal and maritime tourism. Why, you may wonder? Well, because this is what the Interreg Med has underlined as strategic for the area. So we have started working on those things. And then after, we have 3 satellites which go around this core, which are, firstly, liaising. Liaising is a group. We usually say liaising leader is the ambassador of PANORAMED upon third parties, upon the associates, upon the external world. And it has a very key role. It plays a very key role because it has to ensure that we make synergies and that there is a kind of channel of information and that we put all of the elements together. Then we have mainstreaming, which is going to be very important and very strategic from now on, because they have to use the work we are doing within PANORAMED to extract main conclusions and to feed the future policies and how to improve the efficiency of the use of the structural funds. That's the main role of mainstreaming. They will have to see what we are doing within PANORAMED and to take these conclusions and to improve the future policies, not only at national, but also at regional and at transnational level. And finally, we have a group on migration, because as you know, migration topic is very important for the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean is a very sensitive area regarding this topic. So we will try to give color to the work we are doing regarding migration topics. One key point of this structure is that we are going to launch strategic projects on the core themes. I mean, on maritime surveillance and on coastal and maritime tourism. We hopefully launch this project within the next few months. We are working on that, and we want to make a very ambitious and let's say, holistic strategic projects which cover the Mediterranean, which cover which are our main vulnerabilities and which are our opportunities, and to improve that. Finally, all of this scheme relies on the work on the experts and stakeholders, as I said. So, which are the expected results? We could make a difference between midterm objectives and long-term objectives. The midterm objectives are the strategic projects we are going to launch on the strategic issues. So, on maritime surveillance and on coastal and maritime tourism. While in the long term, what we want is to improve the governance in the Mediterranean. We will improve the dialogue among policymakers Also, we want to have a strategic vision at transnational level. And also, we want to have the capacity to address social emergencies in the Mediterranean. All in all, as you see, this is an exercise, an experiment to put on the table all of the elements we have in the Mediterranean in order to improve the governance. So, well, finally, this is the main idea we wanted to share with you. Would like to before going to the round table, the members of this round table represent the different players we have here in PANORAMED. So we have 3 partners on our round table. We have 3 associates on our round table, and also there is 1 representative of the G region. So I would like to come to the stage the 3 partners of PANORAMED, who are Michele Colavito from the Italian Agency of Cohesion, also Eleni Hatziyanni, who represents Crete region, and Guillaume Huet, who represents Provence. These 3, as I say, they are partners of our project. Afterwards, I would like to call on the stage also the 3 associates who are going to participate in this roundtable, who are Alessandra Sensi from the Union for the Mediterranean, Davide Strangis from the CPMR, and Mercedes Acitores from Interreg. These 3 are associates, as I said, to our project. And finally, I would like to come to the stage also to Jean-Marc Venineaux, who represents DG Regio, and who will give us to give the framework and the whole picture of from the Commission perspective. So we are going to go to the debate. Okay, so thank you very much, you all, to come here and to share with us your ideas on PANORAMED. We think that there are 2 topics which are very much key and which really represent why PANORAMED is a major breakthrough in the Mediterranean. One is the topic of the multi-level dialogue. As you have seen, we have countries, regions, institutions, programs. So that's a very key point of PANORAMED. And another one is that we want to improve our capacity building, our institutional capacity building. These are 2 topics I would like to concentrate on in our roundtable. So I would say that let's speak a little bit first about the institutional multi-level dialogue, if you want, and we can pick up some of your ideas, and afterwards we can change to the other topic of institutional capacity building. So regarding the institutional multi-level dialogue and cooperation and why this is important, I would like to know some of your ideas. Perhaps I would leave the floor firstly to the partners so that they can introduce well, what do you think on this, what are the main challenges that it implies for us, and what do you think PANORAMED is a difference, makes a difference from what we already have on stage.
Well, thank you, Antonio. Everybody, good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, thank you for having shared with all of the participants to this conference the main ambitious results we are achieving in the framework of PANORAMED. And let me, first of all, thank all of you for the participation on behalf of the Agency for Territorial Cohesion. Thank you to the Managing Authority and to the Joint Secretariat for this organization. I will turn to French for my speech. Alors, je voudrais partager un message clair avec vous aujourd'hui, parce que ce que le programme, et par là je veux dire tous les acteurs qui gouvernent sa mise en œuvre, ça veut dire l'autorité de gestion, les secrétaires conjoints et les États membres, ce que le programme voulait définir en prévoyant l'axe 4, est un processus absolument nouveau, innovant et stimulant. Pour la première fois, de manière systématique dans le cadre d'un programme de coopération aussi vaste comme le programme Interreg, 13 pays ont décidé de s'engager sur une voie commune, pas simple, mais certainement nécessaire, je dirais. Avant tout, avec le besoin de proposer une vision unifiée et pour cela plus forte de politique pour la Méditerranée. C'est un défi dont le résultat n'est pas évident, même si je crois que tous ensemble nous gagnons un pari, car autour d'une même table siègent des représentants des institutions nationales et régionales responsables de la mise en œuvre des politiques de cohésion et des programmes de coopération, la Commission européenne, les organisations supranationales et interrégionales qualifiées et accréditées, unies par la prise de conscience de la nécessité de représenter avec toujours plus force la Méditerranée avec ses expériences, ses dynamiques et ses potentiels encore pas totalement exprimés. Et ces tables rondes, c'est une démonstration évidente de cette participation partagée. Et dans tous les forums et toutes les opportunités de confrontation concrètes que nous créons, je pense que des propositions efficaces pour améliorer les politiques pour la Méditerranée apparaîtront encore plus dans les mois à venir. Notre responsabilité, notre avancée et la valeur ajoutée à attribuer à ces activités est de représenter ces propositions et les résultats de nos réflexions dans tous les lieux où nous pouvons contribuer à l'amélioration des politiques ayant un horizon qui s'appelle après-vent. On en a parlé beaucoup de fois. Aujourd'hui, le ministre De Vincenti, Mme Rampal, ont plusieurs fois nous rappelé le deadline de l'après-vent. Cet horizon n'est plus si loin, s'il est vrai qu'il est vrai que dans moins de 2 semaines sera défini le cadre financier pluriannuel qui commencera la préparation des règlements pour la prochaine période de programmation. En tant qu'Italie, nous contribuons activement au projet PANORAMED que Antonio Del Pino a présenté maintenant, en apportant l'expérience consolidée en termes de gouvernance multiniveau et d'implication du partenariat concerné, car nous croyons à la force qui vient d'une relation constante entre autorités nationales et régions et la consolidation des relations avec tous les sujets locaux, régionaux et nationaux qui ajoutent de la valeur à chaque voie pour identifier des propositions et des solutions partagées. J'ajoute à cela que parler de gouvernance dans la Méditerranée et partager des outils qui pourraient affecter l'amélioration de politiques et des stratégies, ainsi que la planification dans les secteurs que nous avons considérés comme stratégiques, comme le tourisme côtier maritime et la surveillance maritime, j'ajouterai l'innovation aussi, de toute manière, ne peut pas être séparé d'une vision large aussi d'un point de vue géographique. Et je pense essentiellement à la nécessité d'une implication active des pays de la rive sud sur lesquels l'Union européenne investit déjà avec les outils de voisinage, ainsi qu'une implication de plus en plus large des pays qui participent déjà au programme. Et je pense en particulier aux pays des Balkans qui ne font pas encore partie de l'Union européenne, mais c'est une nouvelle d'hier que le commissaire aux affaires étrangères de la Commission européenne a ouvert à une possibilité très près de accueillir dans l'Union européenne l'Albanie, le Monténégro, etc. Un historien français a déclaré que la Méditerranée est un espace mouvement. Je crois que le parcours entrepris avec PANORAMED sera d'autant plus efficace que nous pourrons interpréter, gouverner et anticiper ces mouvements en mettant en avant nos forces, en préservant les spécificités de chaque territoire et en identifiant des réponses concrètes aux défis d'époque qui sont présentés aujourd'hui. Pour terminer, il y a un processus vertueux qui influencera positivement, j'en suis sûr, le renforcement des capacités de tous les acteurs impliqués. Si tous ceux d'entre nous présents ici aujourd'hui réussissent, chacun dans leur propre rôle, à contribuer à ces processus en cours, tous les systèmes de relations et les processus d'élaboration des politiques ne peuvent qu'en bénéficier. Et je crois que PANORAMED ne peut être que la clé pour atteindre ces résultats. Donc, merci à vous tous pour participer à ce débat et on a beaucoup de choses à faire. Je crois qu'on va gagner et joindre le résultat que tu as présenté aujourd'hui.
Okay, merci. Thank you very much, Michele. Indeed, this multi-level dialogue is key because it has to. We have to be. We must have our feet on the ground. I mean, to be closer to the citizens, and that's perhaps the important point of having the regions in our projects. Perhaps one of our regional partners want to say something on this idea, on both, or Eleni or Guillaume. You want to please? You want to share something?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, the organizers, for having this project today in this big event in Rome with MED programs. And also on behalf of the region of Crete, many thanks to the consortium of PANORAMED project and to the leader partner for inviting us to participate in this event today. In, let's say, 3 simple words, I can say that for the region of Crete, this new project, PANORAMED, is interesting, is an opportunity, and is also a challenge. Definitely, it is interesting because this project is dealing with 2 very, very important thematic issues in the Mediterranean, which is the coastal tourism and the maritime surveillance. There are 2 issues that we are very, very interested and very, very concerned about as a region, because we are a coastal and insular region, and we face this kind of issues on a daily basis, and we are very, very deeply working on that. It is an opportunity because, as it has been mentioned before, we have the opportunity to cooperate with other regions in the Mediterranean, with other bodies, not only regions, but in other levels of governance in the Mediterranean, with the same, let's say, issues to face. And it's also a challenge because as we are leading the liaison work package of the PANORAMED project, we have the opportunity to launch a discussion on potential synergies among different strategies in the Mediterranean, to work together with the other partners on the capitalization of the results so far from the project in the Mediterranean, and also to look forward on the next financial program to the drafting of a new, let's say, strategic thematic priorities for the new strategic projects. So in terms of that, it's a really interesting challenge and opportunity. In respect to the multi-governance you mentioned before, actually, as we all agree in this room, regions have a very, very specific role because they are in the middle between local communities and national level. As a region, as regions altogether, we have and we are in very close connection with our national authorities. For example, even in the PANORAMED, we are in cooperation with our Greek Ministry of Development and Economy, but generally, as regions, and in terms of thematic issues of coastal tourism and maritime surveillance, we are in cooperation with national bodies, but also we are, let's say, the voice of the local communities. We are very close as regional authorities to the local communities, the municipalities. So in that case, we act as a very crucial link in terms of multi-level governance for these very important issues in the Mediterranean, which is an environment we share. So this is something we need to realize, to work, and to, let's say, count on in terms of the next years to come, next projects to come, results we have to capitalize, and try as regions to build this exact role in terms of cooperation we can have with other authorities. And if we go to another very important issue, which is the transitional role, I mean, what the regions have to share, what common issues they have with other regions in the Mediterranean, that's also another very important thing we have to consider about. So, multi-governance in terms of that project, very, very important for the regions. As from a bottom-to-up, let's say, procedure, as a link to the local communities with a national level, and also in terms of trans-regional cooperation, in terms of cooperation with other regions in the Mediterranean, which we share issues in common, like definitely are the coastal tourism and the maritime surveillance.
Thank you very much, Eleni. Anyone else? Thank you, Guillaume.
Merci Antonio et bonjour à toutes et à tous. De la perspective effectivement de la région Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, c'est un projet en effet qui est particulièrement innovant et expérimental et le premier point est en effet lié probablement à cette approche de gouvernance multiniveau qui nous associe effectivement à nos propres États dans cette réflexion sur l'avenir de la Méditerranée et sur la manière dont finalement on peut mobiliser ces financements européens pour répondre aux enjeux et aux défis méditerranéens. Donc je dirais que pour nous, également parce que nous sommes autorité de gestion en tant que région, et il y a beaucoup de régions méditerranéennes qui ont cette responsabilité d'autorité de gestion de programmes transnationaux, de programmes transfrontaliers, de programmes régionaux, nationaux. Je pense qu'il est important, en effet, d'avoir en tête cette responsabilité dans la définition à la fois des stratégies et, et des programmes qui doit tout le temps être dans une articulation État-région pour porter une vision commune intégrée au niveau européen. Et je pense que c'est d'autant plus important quand on commence à aborder les négociations post-2020. Ça a été rappelé par Michele juste avant. Je pense que le fait de travailler bien en amont ensemble sur cette vision commune de la Méditerranée peut permettre de faciliter le processus de décision, peut permettre de faire en sorte que les institutions qui seront décisionnaires in fine pourront appréhender au mieux effectivement ces enjeux-là et repositionner, je l'espère, la Méditerranée au cœur des priorités de l'Union européenne. Je pense qu'il y a un partenariat du côté de l'Est oriental qui est très fort et je pense que c'est important aussi au niveau de la Méditerranée qu'on soit fort à tous les niveaux pour bien effectivement remettre en exergue ces enjeux méditerranéens. Parallèlement à ça, on a aussi la responsabilité d'agir efficacement. Et agir efficacement, c'est aussi faire en sorte que nos actions, nos stratégies, nos cadres d'intervention soient mieux articulés au niveau européen, national et régional. Et tout ça dans un contexte également de diminution des deniers publics. Et donc je pense que ça nous incite encore davantage à aller vers la synergie. Une autre approche qui me semble particulièrement innovante dans ce programme et dans ce projet PANORAMED plus spécifiquement, c'est que cette génération-là marque clairement un tournant autour de la capitalisation et du coup de la vraie réflexion de comment valoriser en fait l'impact sur le territoire de nos projets, de nos programmes. Les valoriser en termes d'opérationnalité et de projets concrets, mais les valoriser aussi en termes de communication citoyenne. Et on sait à quel point aujourd'hui l'Europe est mal aimée, mal comprise par les citoyens. Et donc, du coup, je pense qu'il est aussi de notre responsabilité d'assurer cette capitalisation, cette valorisation, cette communication citoyenne pour faire comprendre qu'il est important d'agir ensemble, collectivement, sur un certain nombre d'enjeux. Et c'est en agissant collectivement que nous serons effectivement plus efficaces et plus impactants. Alors effectivement, dans les projets MED, il y a à la fois un volet très opérationnel, mais il y a aussi un certain nombre de projets qui sont de nature stratégique et qui du coup nous permettent de redéfinir un peu nos politiques et nos stratégies. Je pense par exemple à un projet dont la région a eu la responsabilité en tant que chef de file, le projet MAREMED sur la génération précédente, qui nous a clairement aidé à redéfinir de façon très profonde nos stratégies régionales pour la mer et le littoral. Voilà, c'est des petits exemples comme ça qui font finalement évoluer nos politiques, nos stratégies et nos interventions concrètement sur le terrain. Parallèlement à ça, on n'en parle pas forcément assez, mais je trouve qu'il y a certains projets aussi MED qui permettent aussi de faciliter la transposition d'un certain nombre de directives européennes. On le sait, ce n'est pas toujours très simple et c'est souvent de la responsabilité des États, des régions et des autorités locales de mettre en œuvre ces directives sur leurs propres deniers. Et donc, je pense que le programme MED peut aussi avoir effectivement dans certains projets une plus-value intéressante. Alors, parallèlement à ça, je pense que ce qui est tout à fait pertinent et intéressant, c'est aussi de bien s'inscrire dans ces mécanismes de stratégie macro-régionale et de stratégie de bassin maritime, puisque d'abord parce que la stratégie macro-régionale intègre pleinement cette gouvernance multiniveau qui associe le niveau européen, national et régional, à la fois dans la définition de sa stratégie et dans la mise en œuvre des plans d'action, mais aussi dans les stratégies de bassin maritime, et notamment, je pense plus spécifiquement à la stratégie WestMed, qui, pour le coup, peut-être n'avait pas forcément intégré ce volet de gouvernance multiniveau, mais de fait, les régions ils sont associés pleinement, et je remercie le secrétariat général à la mer auprès du service du Premier ministre de bien nous intégrer dans les discussions, nous, régions, alors à travers la CRPM, mais aussi au niveau des régions françaises française, puisque c'est le secrétaire général à la mer qui assure la coprésidence du comité directeur de l'initiative WestMed avec l'Algérie. Voilà, c'est une initiative qui, pour nous, quand même, est vraiment d'intérêt, d'abord parce qu'elle concerne la Méditerranée occidentale, mais aussi parce qu'elle a cette ouverture vers le sud. Voilà, donc quelques mots sur la gouvernance, je reviendrai peut-être sur le renforcement des capacités.
Okay, thank you very much, Guillaume. I like very much that you have repeated several times the word responsibility. That in the end, we must not forget here that we represent public institutions, and the people who are paying us are the taxpayers. I mean, we are here because taxpayers are paying our salaries. That's the reality, and we must be very much realistic and to have this sense of responsibility on the work we are doing. Okay, thank you. So from the side of the associates, do you want to add something?
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much for the floor. Just to take for me the permission to add to what you said, that we are also accountable, so indeed responsible in that sense. And as far as the Union for the Mediterranean is concerned, I would also like to go back to what you said when you start. I mean, indeed, the importance of opening up and looking, let's say, and looking at the Mediterranean at large. Indeed, we, through our work, it's basically the core of our mandate, we are looking at defining the commonalities, so the common ground of work of 43 countries, all the European countries and all the non-EU countries which are part of the Mediterranean region. And it's indeed with this perspective of linking North and South, of linking, let's say, EU and non-EU, of linking indeed territorial and neighborhood cooperation, that we welcome indeed the PANORAMED initiative. I mean, for us it's not just a project, but it's indeed something more that is bringing on a vision which we hope can be even further expanded in the future. The idea is indeed to overcome, in a certain way, the fragmentation that we have, even maybe through some funding tools, and of course this is obviously not voluntary. And the idea is indeed to bring all these together to serve the purpose of tackling indeed the commonalities that the 43 countries all together have identified. Sometimes we are struggling in a certain way to bring together the pieces of the puzzle and ensure that all the countries can work together towards the same direction. This said, indeed, PANORAMED is very much welcome. I would also like to remind that members of the managing authorities, colleagues that are present here, as well as CPRM, have been present and are actually fully observers of a very successful process that we are carrying out within the UFM, which is indeed the UFM Blue Economy Working Group. It's led indeed by both co-presidencies, North and South. North is indeed at the level of the European Union, and in particular at the level of DG Mare. And the Southern is indeed represented currently by Jordan on behalf of all non-EU countries. And through this continuous dialogue, we have been able indeed to identify priorities that in a certain way are correctly reflected in PANORAMED. We even hope that the priorities that the countries are developing at the moment, we will have actually a meeting next week of the Western Med that you mentioned, Blue Med as well, and of the full, let's say, working group of Blue Economy, can be also taken on and considered for the future programming. I'd like also to take some concrete cases, because again, we are just at the beginning, let's say, of this process, so it's good to mention good cases. There is a recent project that has been approved by the Interreg Med, which is Plastic Busters MPAs. This project stems from a project that was originally labeled, so endorsed politically by the 43 countries, even if it doesn't concern, it doesn't, let's say, benefit directly all of them. And the important thing of this, let's say, political and technical endorsement is that 43 countries are they or not directly benefiting in a certain way of the funding, are recognizing the importance of that topic for all, so for the entire region. Another case, for example, is Medicals for Blue Growth. I mean, we had labeled this program, which is actually building on Coevolve, very successful, let's say, project financed again by Interreg Med, and we are trying to expand the results to other non-EU countries. I think, you know, this can give us some inputs for exploring in a certain way some other, let's say, possibilities and options for similar type of cooperation in the future. I mentioned expansion of the topic. I would just like also to go to the point that you briefly mentioned about capacity building. Of course, I mean, we welcome any type of support in that respect, institutional capacity building. That matches very much also with the mandate that we have with respect to human development. And let's say to conclude, in relation also to the strategic project, I would like to mention that it would be indeed good if within the thinking, through the thinking of the strategic project, you could also consider the processes that are indeed already in place and could in a certain way serve the identification of the projects as you mentioned in your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alessandra. Yes, I think, Davide, it's important also that your vision as you represent the regions of the CPMR, involved in CPMR, regarding this, the multi-level dialogue. You play a role as putting all of the areas together, I guess. So, yes, perhaps you can give some shortly hints on that.
Of course. Thank you very much, Antonio, and thank you very much for inviting the CPMR to this panel and to this event. I will say just 2 words on our organization. I guess that most of you know what it is, but it's an organization made of regions, 150 of the European Union. It's the only one in Europe that is organized by geographical commission. We have one for the Mediterranean that gathers 44 regions from 10 countries, also from the southern Mediterranean shore. So this is just to contextualize. The other important issue is that in the Interreg Med program, we are participating in 12 projects as partners and as associated partners, together with a major part of our membership. So this is also very relevant in 5 communities in particular. Some of them are directly connected to PANORAMED main topics of reflection, like sustainable tourism, but we are participating also in the communities for biodiversity protection, blue growth, and energy efficiency energy. So this is only to say that all these projects, they are involving a lot of actors and of different kind of, let's say, organizations at the public and private level. And this is just to represent the fact that we as a network, we have in our DNA the multi-level dialogue. And of course, we want and we very look forward to contribute to this multi-level dialogue, also including the participation in PANORAMED. Now, concerning the challenges for the multi-level dialogue, I think there are a lot, but I can mainly stress a couple of them. One of them, and it was quoted during these 2 days, is about the capacity of the public sector to really, at all levels, to really digest the really huge information, results, interesting results that are produced by the projects. And this is also connected to the, let's say, the effort of bridging science to policy. I think that it is a matter sometimes of communication. Sometimes the communication, let's say, toward the public sector must be tailored in order for the public sector to digest this information. And also is a matter of capacity building and competencies, of course, and direct involvement in projects. This is also to stress that the horizontal project task in the program is really fundamental, what they are doing. It's an ongoing process, of course, but this is an added value for the program and for the dialogue. And PANORAMED has, I think, a really interesting complementarity with this work and the challenge ahead, but maybe through workshops, the dialogue with the associated partners, and also the strategic project that will produce will bring a real added value. And then the other challenge, I think it was also mentioned during these days, is the future of cohesion policy itself in the post-2020, with European territorial cooperation in it. We fear, of course, a reduction of about 20% of the budget for the territorial cooperation. This could have a really big impact in the Mediterranean cooperation. We as CPMR, we are fighting for cohesion policy with strength, and we prepared policy papers, and also we will do the same on the future of territorial cooperation, proposing some scenarios. We already published a letter yesterday, today, attention of the Commission, with a lot of key messages that we want to stress for the future of territorial cooperation, and the maritime also component of territorial cooperation, which is important for us. I would just only like to add, for the Mediterranean cooperation in particular, there is an interesting effort by the Commission to study the future architecture and organization of the programs. For the Mediterranean in particular, I mean, in general, there is this reflection about sea basin programs in the future that could maybe include the cross-border maritime cooperation together with transnational component to do sea basin programs. But for the Mediterranean, the situation is quite challenging and complicated because we should avoid breaking dynamics, I think, that are very good and that were promoted by this very program during the two past programming periods. And I cannot imagine, for instance, not having the possibility for an actor in the eastern part of the Mediterranean from Greece not being able to cooperate with an actor in the western part, if we are supposed to, let's say, align strategies and emerging strategies and initiatives with the programs. And the other component is that if we are supposed to put together maybe programs with strategies like for the Western Mediterranean part, I think it's very important to reflect on the involvement of the southern countries there. If not, this breaking up of the Mediterranean and maybe sub-basin program will be pointless. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Yes, Davide. I think exactly the idea. One thing that you pointed out is that well, we are taking into account a lot of projects which have been taking place in Europe, and you always say this is a top-down project, but at the same time it's an evidence-based approach. So the arrow goes in both directions, from top to down, and also it's based on the evidence. So this thing, which is related on the evidence, has very much to do with the idea that of the projects you have been promoting under the umbrella of the institutions you represent. So that's very much a key point. You want Mercedes to add something, or we just go to the second topic on institutional capacity building and to make of a...
I could say something about multi-level
Yes.
governance too.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we, first I would like to say why Interact is involved in the PANORAMED. Interact is involved in PANORAMED, especially in the liaising part, because we are a program that supports 107 transnational, cross-border and interregional programs. In the Mediterranean, there are about, all in all, right now in the current geography, about 15 programs. So this is the reason that we can give an added value to PANORAMED, plus our expertise and capacity building and guidance to the programs in different kind of aspects. Having said this, and regarding about the multi-level governance, I was thinking about, what's PANORAMED if it's not cooperation. At the end, we are talking about a governance, but governance, we are cooperating. And we cannot cooperate without dialogue. That's common, right? I mean, I can cooperate with you if we talk. If we don't talk, there's not dialogue. So if we consider that the only way of making efficient policies is throughout getting together local, regional, national, and international institutions, that's the way we need to act. If not, the policy won't be correctly implemented. Interact at the same time, as I said, deals with programs. What does it mean? Mean managing authorities, which are regions, and monitoring committees, which means member states. So at the same time, we have this capacity of dealing constantly, when we talk about territorial cooperation, from all levels. I would like to add one more point, because when you talked about challenges, Davide, I completely agree with the two that you talked about, capacity and competence, what we call, and the new possible scenario that, you know, there's a challenge. And I will add another one, working in a coordinated way, in a very practical situation. How many times we go to different forums with similar topics and different people, and many times those people, they don't talk. And really, I mean, this is an effort, an internal effort that we can talk about coordination, cooperation, whatever we want, but we need to do an exercise internal in our own organization to pass on the information. And just to finish, I would like to mention 5 main actions for multi-level governance become true. The first case will be raise awareness. That will be the first thing we will do, just to raise awareness what's going on. The second would be general information. We give information to our decision makers. The third one would be common trainings, workshops, being involved in projects, as you said. Then guidance on cooperation, and finally, a structure and common and continuous information exchange. That would be like 5 different steps to make multi-level governance become true. Very practical, and that's all from my side.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Jean-Marc?
Yeah, Antonio, if I may react in French to what's been said so far on this issue of multi-level dialogue and multi-level governance. J'ai entendu deux choses, donc multi-level dialogue and multi-level governance, et on ne parle pas de la même chose. Le dialogue multiniveau, c'est une première étape vers une gouvernance multiniveau. La gouvernance multiniveau, c'est un des principes clés de la politique de cohésion, et bien évidemment, c'est ce à quoi on aspire à chaque fois quand les programmes sont mis en œuvre. On voit à quel point c'est compliqué. Si vous le permettez, comme je suis aussi en charge à la commission de la supervision, entre guillemets, des stratégies macro-régionales, et que j'ai travaillé de longues années sur la stratégie baltique, je voudrais dire 2 mots sur cette question, parce qu'on n'est finalement pas si loin. Entre ce qui s'est mis en place dans les stratégies macro-régionales, qui somehow vient du top, hein, même si on dit que c'est un processus bottom-up, de fait, ce sont quand même les États membres qui ont souhaité développer cette approche de coopération sur des zones fonctionnelles particulières, parce que ces acteurs et ces pays, en particulier les premiers dans la Baltique, considéraient que c'était par la coopération qu'un certain nombre d'enjeux communs pouvaient être attaqués, et notamment la pollution de la mer dans la mer Baltique, et que donc, tout seul, on était beaucoup moins influent, puissant et efficient qu'à plusieurs. Les démarches sont à peu près analogues. Dans le cadre de PANORAMED, on a l'impression qu'il s'agit là d'une initiative qui, elle, est plus menée par des porteurs de projets eux-mêmes et par des autorités qui ne représentent pas nécessairement au départ la vision de l'ensemble des États membres. Le résultat, en tout cas, est très intéressant. Et là où il est très intéressant, notamment si on le compare à des stratégies macro-régionales, c'est que d'ores et déjà, vous avez souhaité dans PANORAMED vous attaquer à deux enjeux particuliers sur lesquels il semble qu'il y ait un accord de l'importance ensemble d'adresser ces enjeux. Et c'est ce qui fait évidemment la différence avec les stratégies macro-régionales, où là, on a une foultitude de priorités qui font que quand tout est important, rien n'est important. Et donc je pense que ça, c'est vraiment fondamental. Et ça revient évidemment à ce que disait tout à l'heure Alessandra, c'est qu'il faut qu'on ait une vision qui soit une vision partagée et consolidée de l'ensemble de ceux qui ont la compétence de prendre en charge cette mission, pour qu'on arrive à quelque chose. Et ce qui me fait dire, quand je vois PANORAMED, et si vous continuez à aller dans la bonne direction, et qu'évidemment vous arrivez à fédérer et les compétences des États membres au niveau national, et des régions dans leurs compétences, et d'un certain nombre d'experts, et d'un certain nombre d'autres partenaires qui ont, elles aussi, ou eux aussi, un apport à la construction de la résolution à vos problèmes particulièrement bien définis, là on aura fait un grand pas. Pour prendre une image, j'ai un peu tendance à penser que les stratégies macro-régionales aujourd'hui, et ça c'est pour vous encourager aussi, c'est comme une espèce d'arbre qui aurait une douzaine ou une quinzaine de branches, dont certaines sont en train de pourrir, parce que le terreau n'est pas assez fertile et parce qu'on n'a pas apporté assez d'engrais à cet arbre. Si on commence à couper les branches mortes, on va voir apparaître les 2 ou 3 branches qui sont encore vivantes. Et là, à partir de là, on pourra repartir sur un arbre qui sera un peu vivifié et qui deviendra peut-être après un exemple et aura un effet d'entraînement pour d'autres, venir éventuellement mettre un peu plus de terreau et refertiliser un peu le sol. Et le problème, il est là, c'est que je pense que ce qui est fondamental, c'est qu'on soit bien sûr qu'on parle, et là on est donc du coup sur une vision qui doit se bâtir, peu importe à la limite si elle a été initiée par le bas, mais il faut qu'il y ait une vision qui soit forte, qui soit partagée. Claude, tout à l'heure, disait, sur la surveillance maritime, il y a déjà une grosse difficulté à faire en sorte que des mêmes partenaires dans un même pays échangent leurs informations. Évidemment, c'est un enjeu, c'est un challenge. Mais si on arrive véritablement à bâtir quelque chose de consolidé, et c'est ce qui manque aujourd'hui, y compris dans les programmes, on a des stratégies de programmes qui ne sont pas des stratégies toujours sérieuses, permettez-moi de le dire, parce qu'elles sont l'accumulation d'un certain nombre de desiderata des partenaires dans le programme. Il faut qu'on arrive véritablement demain, après 2020, à avoir des programmes qui soient concentrés sur ce que sont véritablement les enjeux partagés et bien compris dans le même langage, et je ne parle pas là de différence linguistique, dans la mise en œuvre de ces priorités pour qu'on arrive à des résultats tangibles. Sinon, on n'arrivera à rien. Et là, il faut qu'on introduise de la cohérence. Et la cohérence, c'est le premier pas vers la simplification. Si on a une cohérence entre les niveaux macro-régional, national, régional, avec l'ensemble des partenaires à chacun de ces niveaux, qui sont prêts évidemment à mobiliser, et pas seulement des fonds européens, mais aussi des fonds qui proviennent de leur propre budget, qui montrera d'autant plus la validité et la solidité de ces priorités, là on arrivera à quelque chose. On en est encore loin, mais c'est ce à quoi on aspire, en tout cas au niveau européen. Et pour la capacité, ça me permettra peut-être du coup de ne pas reprendre la parole, puisque la capacité est évidemment un élément important, c'est qu'on parle de capacité institutionnelle. Avant de parler de capacité institutionnelle, il faut parler de capacité individuelle. C'est qu'il faut qu'on soit aussi en mesure, on a fait sur les stratégies macro-régionales, on a commandé une étude d'un consortium mené par Cowi, qui est une entreprise danoise, qui a mis en évidence de façon assez intéressante des différents niveaux de phase dans l'édification de ce processus. On commence par une capacité individuelle. Vous êtes dans une phase expérimentale. Vous avez tous ceux qui sont partenaires de PANORAMED, vous avez à bâtir votre capacité individuelle pour comprendre quel est votre rôle en fonction de ce que vous-même ressentez en tant qu'individu dans le processus de coopération, qui n'est pas nécessairement ce que ressent votre institution. Et vous allez devoir d'abord bâtir cette capacité individuelle, vous mettre d'accord sur la répartition des rôles, pour ensuite expliquer à votre institution, qui est à des années-lumière parfois de ce que vous faites au sein de PANORAMED, ce que vous attendez au niveau institutionnel de l'ensemble des actions qu'elle peut mener au sein de ce programme, au sein de ce projet. Et à partir de là seulement, vous aurez la capacité à exprimer et à expliquer à des acteurs externes ce que véritablement ce projet porte en soi. Et c'est à partir du moment où vous serez capable d'expliquer ça que vous pourrez aussi attendre des acteurs externes qu'ils puissent développer des projets qui vont dans la direction de ce que PANORAMED veut essayer de développer. Et ça, je pense que c'est très important d'avoir la conscience de ce que la capacité individuelle est très différente de la capacité institutionnelle et que ce n'est qu'à ce stade qu'on commence véritablement à entrer dans un processus de maturation du projet ou de la stratégie qui est mise en place. Et ça n'est qu'à partir d'un certain temps, et ce temps-là peut être long, et ça aussi c'est quelque chose qu'il faut avoir en tête, c'est que le temps du politique, évidemment, n'est pas le temps de maturation et du cycle de ces projets et de ces programmes, mais cette maturation, elle est longue. Sur la Baltique, on a commencé il y a près de 10 ans. On n'est pas encore arrivé. On est à une phase de maturation d'un certain nombre de choses, mais on n'est pas encore arrivé sur l'ensemble des priorités de cette stratégie à obtenir véritablement un bouleversement et un basculement de projets qui soient des porteurs et d'espoir et de résultats qui permettent d'influencer les politiques. Et c'est bien ça qu'on veut. C'est qu'à travers ce genre de projet ou à travers ce genre de stratégie, ce qu'on veut, c'est influencer le policy making. Et ça, c'est aussi un temps très long. et un temps très long que les politiques n'ont pas toujours la patience d'attendre. Mais ça, c'est véritablement important. Si on ne garde pas cette ligne, on n'a même pas d'intérêt à aller dans cette direction. Voilà, j'en ai fini et ça me permet de passer.
Okay. Ça va. Okay, thank you very much, Jean-Marc. Well, I think, it's clear that both issues are intertwined. I mean, the multi-level dialogue issue and the institutional capacity building. I'm afraid we already are out of time, so we can take your intervention kind of a wrap-up conclusions of the whole round table. It's clear that both areas are very much related. And this, as we said, it's a top-down approach, but also it's very much related to the citizen. It's based on the experience we have, taking into account the projects we are undertaking within the area of the Mediterranean. So I want to thank you all for your intervention, and I would like to pass the microphone to Karen so that she gives us some housekeeping instructions before having lunch. Thank you very much.
If I could just have my mic on. You can just stay sitting where you are. It's just one or two housekeeping issues. So time now for your lunch. It's in the same place as yesterday. You can also continue to visit the exhibition, and please do. Also, our videos are still running. Again, these translation interpretation headsets, if you are finishing with them, if you wouldn't mind handing them back, but particularly at the end of the day, can I remind you again not to forget to give back your headset. The other thing that I've been asked to remind you of as well is that I think some of you didn't register when you came in today. It's very important you do register, I think, for reimbursement purposes, to make sure that there's a record of you attending today. So please, if you haven't registered for today, you can do so at the desk outside. Can you also make sure you're back here at 14:30 promptly? I'll just start. I'm chairing the last two sessions, and I will just start at 2:30 because many people in the room have planes to get and they're under tight deadlines. So enjoy your lunch, enjoy the beautiful sunshine that has come out here in Rome. It's fantastic, and I'll see you back here at 2:30. Thank you.